Thank you so much, ma'am. So, participants, so what we're going to have today is we're going to understand how technology is going to change the world. So, what are the options? How is the career market? How is the industry? What is it that you can start as a business in technology line? And to do all this, what is going to happen? So, now for all this to happen, we need a base, right? So, what is happening around us? So, what is this technology that we are going on and on about? So, does it really going to affect us immediately, or do we still have time to see how it goes, decide what we're going to do, and take a call? Okay. Now, a simple example. Let us imagine you don't know how to use a computer today. Let us imagine you don't know how to use a smartphone today. What would your life be like? Would be the same? Will life be easy? Can you do everything you're doing right now? No, right? So technology which came in the 1990s has changed our world to a completely different paradigm. Now this robotics, this IoT, which is called as Internet of Things, has been around for a really long time. So what exactly is going to happen with this technology? First and foremost, this particular technology is going to help us to make our life easy, simple, more efficient, secure, and everything we do is going to happen faster, be more productive, and bring down our costs. So whatever we're doing right now, say for example, the food we eat is being packed by robots. The houses we're living in is being built by robots. The cars that we are traveling are being manufactured by robots. So where there are people, there are huge assembly lines where robots are doing entire end-to-end process. And then what else? Your surgeries that is also being done by robots. So no matter what you see in daily life, there's some part of technology that is coming into your life to make sure it is changed for the better, it is more efficient. Let us leave where we do what we pursue and all that. But look at this. So be it air, be it water, be it land, or be it space, even in places where man is not there, the robots are going to be there. So that is how technology is changing. So in this changing technology world, we're going towards a place where man and robot have to coexist. So this is a simple example of how it can really be. So these might be your friends also, I'm not sure. This is from a group of students from computer science who have built their own robotic 6-foot personal assistant. So when the technology is changing for the best, when technology around us is able to see, listen, and talk, it is upon us to decide how we are going to use this, learn from this, and look at the different careers in this. So now for a simple example to understand what this IoT is. So IoT is nothing but Internet of Things. With a simple example, let us try to understand how IoT is going to be there for us. So for us here, I mean, now imagine there is about 2 drinking glasses, there is coffee, and there is bread, and there is 2 eggs, and there is water. So how can you make an IoT solution for this? So IoT is nothing but, first I am at home or I'm at office, I'm anywhere in the world, and I have my complete house under automation. So which means right from somebody entering my house, switching on the ACs, the lights and the fans, I can complete the control, the complete setup of my house, every object using the internet just from the click of a button. So all these devices, they are smart, they have controllers, they connect to internet. So every action that I perform, I see a result in terms of something switching on, something switching off, or getting a signal from the surrounding. For example, I can find out what is the temperature in my room. And then if I want to, I can switch on the AC. If I want, I can switch on the TV, I can get it recorded. So there are so many things I can do with IoT. Now, as a simple example of an IoT, so if I have 2 drinking glasses, if I have coffee and bread, if I have 2 eggs and water, so what is an IoT solution that you can think of? The reason looking at this is, when you go for a career, or let's say you want to make a product or start your company, it all starts with an idea. It all starts with understanding what are the possibilities. So if you can think of solutions, applications on the fly, the complete gambit of solutions, your approach and your scope will grow manifold. So just think about this for a minute, and then I'm going to give you a solution as to how this is going to work. So what is it exactly when we say it is going to be a solution in IoT? So meanwhile, you can always leave your ideas as to what you can do with this in the comments. So we'll go to the comments as well. So when we look at the comments, we get ideas as to how you are thinking and how possibilities of the solutions are. So you can have like a small contest between your friends and see who is giving you the best solution and what is a really interesting one. Okay, so now that's about a minute. So let me give you the solution. So we have the fridge at home. So we have a water dispenser. We have 2 drinking glasses and all this. Now, let's just say I have my complete home automated. So as soon as I wake up, so I can have my coffee machine make coffee for me. Let's say 8 o'clock is my coffee time. The coffee machine makes the coffee for me, and I can have a small apparatus. I'll move to a tray, and then similarly with a glass of water moving to my tray, and in the fridge there are bread and eggs. So as and when the bread or eggs are getting empty, I'll get notification on my phone, and the bread and eggs can be automatically ordered on Amazon or Flipkart or Big Basket, wherever you want. They can be auto ordered through IoT. And as soon as you wake up, you'll get a glass of water and a mug of coffee to your bed. A robot will bring it to you. So once you wake up, once you say alarm off, so automatically you can change the lighting in your room, make it a morning lighting, have some nice music to warm you up, and then a robot will bring this to you. And just in case your coffee or eggs are over, and it can even go to a nearby Kirana store and says that guy will deliver the products to your home. So anything is possible, all by a click of a button. And that is the way technology is growing. So you might in the future have a robot come to you and brush your teeth for you. That is also possible. Technology is going really fast, and we've come to a point where there was human to human. Let's say I had to inform somebody, either I had to go or I had to send someone to tell them. But now we are at a point where it is machine to machine. Let's say I want something, I don't have to even ask. Let's say the bread in the fridge is my over, eggs are in the fridge my over. The fridge will talk to my online platform and place the order for me, and the eggs will be delivered to my house. So without me even doing any effort, a machine is talking to a machine and getting the entire work done. That is the way technology is growing, and it is upon us to keep up with what is happening. So we just went to web, and then we went to e-commerce, and then we went to social media, but now we are in M2M, which is machine to machine. So this is the way people are seeing that technology is growing. All right. So right from the early 90s, embedded systems have come into play. So, you made robots and all those small things. But has IoT been there? Now, even when I was in school, there were projects where we connected to the internet. We had GPRS, we had GPS, and in some few cases we had LAN. With all this, we were able to connect to the internet. But why is it this IoT has become all the more famous, or why is it famous now? It is all because of the potential that is there now, the kind of devices, the kind of applications, and the kind of opportunities. So when all these come together, when the market is ready, the product, the division is ready. So IoT has grown from the early 90s to now we are in a place where, let's say I'm in a virtual warehouse. In my house, I just wear my MR or AR or VR glasses. And here, as soon as I just pick the objects, the robot in the warehouse will take the objects, put in the cart. So that is the amount of customization that is possible. So if you see where is this IoT being used today? So if I learn IoT, where can I get placed? Where can I start my own company? What can I do in the future? So first and foremost in the automotive and the manufacturing industry. A simple example of IoT would be like you will send a message in the morning to say your car manufacturing company saying that make 100 cars today. That's it. You just send one message to your factory and your factory will start making 100 cars. And once the 100 cars production is done, you get a message saying that 100 cars manufactured. So this can happen without even one person on the shop floor. That is what is called as Industry 4.0. So in this particular thing, what we're doing is with just internet, we're automating a complete system in automotive and manufacturing. And then when it comes to retail, let's say automatic inventory management, you're running a supermarket. So as and when your stock gets over, automatically the order will be placed to a vendor to refill the items. Let's say in education, let's say the books, whatever you want to have, your attendance tracking system, all that can be done through IoT. Safety of the children, and so let's say you want to conduct the classes and keep the classes ready, say control the apparatus in the class, all that can be done through IoT. When it comes to healthcare, so right now, even we ourselves are part of a system where the doctor was in the UK and there was a hospital in Bombay. So as and when the doctor was moving the hand in UK, our robot was performing the surgery in Bombay. So we are able to build a complete laser-based system in which even the slightest of precision of turning was able to reflect in the physical robot. So imagine how fast the internet was, how precise it was, and live data was being sent in VR to the doctor in UK. So I was able to see how deep the robot was even going. He had a rack or a display of all the patient vitals, and he had the doctor's feed coming into his ears. So all this was possible because of IoT. And then your smart cities, your smart homes. So just sitting in your office, you can order coffee to your place. You can control the complete electricity, your lighting system, air conditioning, everything. Your car parking systems, your traffic signals. So everything in your city can be handled in just one place by least number of people, making it safe. Can even reduce the burdens of so many people through IoT. So there are infinite applications of IoT. It's all about what you learn as a basic and where you're going to apply this wonderful technology to take your career to the next level. So in terms of trends, so in 1990s, there were just 1 million devices connected to the internet. And now in 2020, looking at almost 50.1 billion devices connected to the internet. So when I say IoT, a thing can be as simple as your fan or your AC connected to the internet. So like that, there are almost 50.1 billion devices worldwide. So when there are so many devices, couple of things come into play. One, who is managing these devices? Two, where is all the data on the devices going? So in which way are the devices communicating? Are the devices safe? What if somebody hacks into my devices? So what is the data, or what am I understanding? What patterns am I seeing? How do I take a decision from this data? So all these are the trends which you've been seeing over the years. But when I said is that from 1992, why are we talking about all these now? We are now in a golden age. Why? This is the start when actually industry is warming up, IoT is becoming more serious. So those who make a career now are going to go to the peak. So when somebody in 1990s, we had the Y2K problem, we had the IT companies, we had Infosys and all that starting. So those who started or those who became part of IT company at that point of time are now founders, presidents, vice presidents in top level in IT companies. So when there was IT revolution, people who came first went to the top. And now we are coming to an industry, an IoT revolution, a technology revolution. So if you're part of it right from day one, your growth will be manifold. So if you see what has happened is the manufacturing cost, the hardware has become all the more cheaper. Now your phone has more configuration than your laptop, you're getting it for 10,000 rupees. Development is all the more easy. There are a lot of GUIs where you can just click, drag, drop, your solution is done. And we're living in a data era. So the data speeds are so high that we can control and stream almost everything. So right now, even this live stream is thanks to the data era. So if you see this IoT, what all do I need to know, or what all can I play a role in this thing? So first and foremost, you can make these end devices. So for example, you can make a smart AC, a smart TV, a smart fridge. Next, you can make a platform which might be all the more suitable to you. Say for example, all these platforms or these devices are going to keep sending data to my server. So you can work on server management, load balancing, data management, data security, and then filtering. So now so many devices sending data. In one house, I have my AC, TV, fridge, washing machine, coffee maker, I have my security system, I have my CCTV, I have all these. Now, what is this event? Now let's say the security system is getting activated saying that somebody has come into the house. So all this has to be deprioritized. This has to come to top priority and immediately a warning has to be sent. So that filtering, that algorithm writing, all that would be very much in your scope. And finally, user management. Now, if I am the owner and they say a guest is going to come and stay in my house for 2 days. So every time he wants to switch on a fan, I can't tell you ask me and I will switch on the button for you. It will be a stupidest thing to do. So I can give him the app and say, give this user access for 2 days. I can create multiple roles. I can make Android apps. I can make iOS apps. So like that, there's so much scope in software itself. So if you ask me, any solution in IoT would be maximum 30 to 40% hardware and almost 60 to 70% will be software. Because no matter what this hardware does, it has to be made in a way that the user understands what this hardware is doing. Now, for example, if all of a sudden eggs are coming to my house, will I not be shocked? Who is that giving eggs in the morning to me? So I need an app in which I know that my tool, my fridge has ordered eggs, it has come to me and I've got it. So this particular application is going to give me a complete understanding of what is happening. So this is the kind of thing which we need in terms of software for IoT. So now, when I say IoT, it is being hugely adopted. And these are some of the links which I'll share with Jyoti ma'am. You can watch it at your convenience. So here what is happening is all the big players have come into IoT and they've built layers after layers after layers. So if you see, other than the network things, which is the beacons, Bluetooth, Zigbee and all that, everything else. So only 1 out of the 5 layers is hardware. Remaining 4 layers are software. So in which the access control, finding the devices, sharing the data on social media, and finally making a decision algorithm in terms of AI, IFTT, and all the protocols. Out of 5, 4 are into the software domain. And even when it comes to hardware, I need to write code for the hardware to perform. So you have an amazing background. All you need is the basic embedded or the hardware knowledge. So if you see, in terms of future, what is there? So for all these services, the big companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, and Samsung, they've come up with their own products. Now the products are there. For example, there is a car. If there is no driver in the car is useless. So all these companies are rolling out technology so fast that companies are wanting to take it, but they are not able to find who can do this solution for them. There's a void. There is a shortage of people who can actually do this, who are experts in this particular field. So if you are an expert in IoT, if you're an expert in software and all these management stuff, there is no looking back. All right. So experts, if you're an expert, you have scope always. Being an expert in IoT, in any protocol, in any layer is going to make a wonderful career for you. So there is device management, data management. So when I say an IoT solution, there is a centralized cloud. It's going to connect with so many devices and give me the centralized data. And for example, Nest or Google Home is going to give me the end communication of what is happening. So if you see, where are the major industries where I can use this so-called IoT? First and foremost would be your healthcare, your hospitals, because that is vital. So life can depend on it. So you can have, for example, in this particular times, so we built an IoT powered ventilator, which is now given to 2 hospitals in testing. So we have given a mobile app to a doctor. So the doctor is having, based on the patient name, can just click on the patient name and the vitals, or what is the breath, what is the intake, what is the exhale ratio, and all that is coming on our mobile app. The doctor can see how is the patient doing. So you can easily integrate ECG data to a mobile app. So like this, a doctor from anywhere can monitor the patient condition. So this is a critical application. In transport, this particular area is fully jammed, take that alternative route. Google Map is telling us. But with IoT can be made all the more perfect, because the traffic management can be made using AI, using IoT. The person standing there can just become an overlook. The AI system will control the complete traffic system. So based on which side more cars are waiting, that side will be given more time to run. Other side where there are lesser amount of cars, will be given lesser amount of time. Such real-time decision making can be made. In terms of home and consumer goods, Google Home, Alexa, all that have come into almost every house. So your lights, your fans, all that, Alexa, switch on hall light 1. So that's it. Your light is on. And coming to industries, just by sending one single message, they're controlling a complete factory. That is the way in which IoT is existing and emerging to different trends. You will have to choose one particular trend and specialize. So always remember, the specialist is always the boss. If I say, I know little home, little transport, little health, little infrastructure, you are a little person. But if you say, I am a specialist in healthcare, you are a big person. So take one particular domain of your interest and specialize in that particular domain and take it to the next level. So now if you take a smart city, this is how it will look like. For example, now there is this person in the house, okay? Now, let's say there is this person who's having a pacemaker in his heart, and there is this mobile phone in his pocket, and he's also in a car, and there's also a condition where somebody is stealing. There's also a condition where the vehicle is getting hacked and all this. So a simple case, Let us take, for example, a person with a pacemaker. The pacemaker is a smart pacemaker. The trends are being known to the person in the mobile phone. The mobile phone is monitoring the parameters of the heartbeat, the blood pressure, the blood sugar, and all that. In case of any problem, immediately information is going to go back, and medical professional is going to call and support. Driving in a car, accident happens, ambulance and police are going to come. Your house, somebody enters, immediately police are going to be informed. Your neighbors are going to be informed. You're going to be informed. So anything can happen. Any attack, you will be able to counter attack in the easiest and the simplest way, the least amount of effort. So if you see, this is the pipeline of how IoT would go. Now, with my solution of IoT, so now I know that for how much time my light is on, my AC is on, my fan is on, when am I coming to the house, when am I going out of the house, how many coffees I'm drinking per day, what am I ordering on a regular basis in Amazon and Flipkart. So all this data I'm able to get. So based on this, I can find out which device of mine has consumed maximum power. Is my AC bill the highest? Is my TV bill the highest? Is my refrigerator bill the highest? What is the highest? So I have, for one particular house, I have so much data. So with this, we can run a complete big data and data analytics complete process and say that in Chennai, Anna Nagar is consuming the maximum amount of power for ACs. Mogadar is consuming maximum amount of power for fan. So in this particular area, there is maximum power cut. These many people are having backup even when there is a power cut. So there are so many inverters. So in these particular areas, there is no inverter. So all this data I can easily find out, compute, and come to a conclusion. And then when it comes to AI, I can take decisions based on this data. For example, if I feel that Anagar has a lot of inverters, I can decide saying that if there's a power shortage, cut Anagar on priority, which means a list of areas will get the power. So deficit to manage, we cut Anagar. Since they have inverters, they can manage for some time. And after we have surplus, manage Anagar also. And we can also see which particular time AC and TV and current are being used for the maximum, and when it is using for the minimum, at that time you can have the power cut. At that time you can say that, okay, nobody might be home, let's cut the power. So these are kind of things, decisions which you can take and can be automatic, it can be through AI. So this is the way technology trends are progressing, and these are the fields you can look at: IoT, data analytics, AI, and in between all this, the arrow marks is your data and your network and your communication protocols, which have to be secure, and there comes your cyber security. So if you're specialist, or if you're choosing even one of these four areas, even for one particular domain, if you focus, you have an amazing opportunity for the future. Let's look at a simple use case. Okay, now these are two people are here. Now this guy is telling to his colleague that I think my Nest smoke alarm is going off. Google AdWords just pitched me a fire extinguisher and an offer for temporary housing. Okay, so can you imagine what has actually happened? You can actually leave your ideas in the comments, and you will see after the session what idea you have got. So Google Nest is basically your IoT solution for your home, where you have multiple smart devices in your house. So the smoke sensor in this smart house is called a Nest smoke alarm. So his smoke alarm in his house has gone off, is what he is thinking, because Google AdWords has just pitched him a fire extinguisher and offering a temporary housing. It's actually supposed to be a joke. So someone who really understood it will enjoy this. Basically what has happened is, Google has found out that there's a fire in his house with Google's network smoke sensor. Smoke sensor found out there is smoke. Smoke means there is fire. The alarm is going, and the people have been informed that alarm is going on, and you'll have to come and take over, see what is being done. So that particular site, the counteraction is being taken to put off the fire. And similarly, next Google is trying to do is, Google is getting your information. Google is giving you everything for free because you are being the person, the data which somebody else is paying for. So what has happened? So a fire extinguisher company and a housing company for Google's customers in terms of AdWords. So these two ads are being sent to the user. So by seeing the fire extinguisher and temporary housing, Google has understood that, okay, his house is going to burn down. He needs a fire extinguisher to save him. And once his house is gone, he needs a temporary house to move in till his house is back. So immediately he's getting an ad for these two. So that is the amount of technology advancement that is happening around the world. And you should be part of it, or you'll be apart from it. So what is it that you have as students as opportunities that is happening across the world? So first and foremost, there is a demand for IoT talent is being increased by not 1%, 2%, 10%, 15%, but by 300% is the increase the last 3 years. That is huge in any field. 300% is an amazing jump. And more importantly, there is something as a new role. There are CEO, COO, CFO, CPO, what all CXOs, everything is done. But now something interesting is CIOTO, Chief IoT Officer. That is really a position as being created in the companies, which is a really, really big thing, and understanding as to how much an impact this IoT has in the current world. And also we have chief data officers, and we have chief information officers. So these CIOs are the ones who specialize in big data, data analytics, and AI, who come to decisions. So all these new roles are being created because of changing technology trends. And more importantly, if you see, there's this particular thing called 3D printing, and Forbes is saying that even among the engineering jobs, almost 35% of the in-demand jobs in engineering is for 3D printing. So you make 3D models of objects that are used in automotive rapid prototyping, in dentistry. Let's say even in your baking, you can make molds with 3D printing. You can have even right now human parts, let's say a prosthetic hand, and all that are being 3D printed. The huge demand and growth in 3D printing and is accounting for almost 35% of jobs. And solar energy, in which you have renewable energy coming in, is growing at almost 12 times faster as the US economy. So the world is moving towards renewable energy. So now you need to find out which panel is working, which panel is not working, what is the yield I'm getting it, which is safe, on all that complete data. For that you need IoT, you need energy and all that. So the field of technology, of engineering, of computer science is growing rapidly. It's just that you have to be skilled and you should have the knowledge in all these domains to make sure you're prepared to handle what comes your way. And if you see, robotics and automation in industries has the potential to replace almost 60% of the jobs. So let's say a normal person who has been in the line, tightening the screws, the nuts and the bolts, gone. Normal person who's going to the shop floor and saying, are they doing all this? Has this person come? Has that person come? Have they got these many cars? So all the complete hard labor is gone. So what will remain is the specialists, the decision makers are the only ones who will remain, and the ones who can make the robots to work, the robot trainers, the robot makers, the robot configurers. So these are the people who will have their jobs. But let's say if I am an employee in a factory, if I get 50,000, but the person who can automate the line, who can make the robots report to him and make a customized process, can earn up to 5 lakhs. So from 50,000, we will jump to 5 lakhs if we are able to make sure this line of robots are able to do the work is being done by the people. So what should you do? You should be learning how to control these robots, option one, and all the more better if you can make and manage these robots, the field is going to grow in a humongous way. So if you see the opportunity within India, amongst the world, India is the third lowest in the production cost. So which means that a lot of companies in the future will start coming to India, should make sure the opportunity for us is going to grow all the more. And second, we have the second highest in terms of the infrastructure vastness. So many features are there which will attract companies to start here. And if you see, India is now becoming the hub of the startups. So we have almost $5 billion worth of startups and growing constantly, which means a lot of startups are going to come up employing 5-10 people. They're going to be part of startups. And the best part is we have the best and the most talented youth. But the only catch here is, are the youth ready to take up this? Do they have the basic skill set that the companies require? So the trends are changing. Our focus should change. Our readiness should change. We need to work towards these growing technology trends. The top 10 jobs by 2025 don't exist now. So in a time when you're preparing for something that you don't know is yet going to come, so you need to be prepared with whatever is the latest in the field, or you will be left out. You'll be here doing the conventional ways while the world is moving towards the technology ways. So that's it from my side. So thank you so much.